action.
Hello, welcome to Honor News, and today we have a survivor from the Titanic, Molly Brown.
Hi Arno, thanks for having me.
No problem. So today we have 6 questions for Molly Brown to see how and what her life was like on the Titanic. How did the Titanic sinking change you?
Well, seeing so many people in trouble and nobody helping them made me change inside. You know, after seeing so many people not getting help, it made me become a very influential socialite, an activist, a feminist, a very I apologize, Arnold. You know, it just made me feel really upset that nobody was helping them. So after I got off the Titanic, all that I wanted to do was help people.
That's cool. What was your life like before the Titanic?
Well, I was born in 1867 in Hannibal, Missouri. Cool show, you should check it out. I was fairly poor and I planned to marry into money, but I ended up falling in love with J.J. Brown, a mine supervisor who was just as poor as I was. But soon he ended up striking gold and we moved into a very lavish house.
I wish I had a lavish house. Why were you on the Titanic?
Well, me and my daughter Helen were originally touring Europe, but I got word that my grandson was ill, so we ended up getting a third-class ticket on the Titanic to visit him.
Feel bad for him.
Yeah, he died.
Okay. How did you know the boat was sinking?
People were scrambling and screaming all around the hallway. Someone ended up knocking on my door and telling me the ship has hit an iceberg. We're all gonna die.
And you have to get to the deck now!
That too.
Yeah.
I was very scared and I assumed that, well, I was gonna die, so what can you do?
Who survived with you? Any family members?
Yeah, my bratty daughter Helen survived. Kind of upset about that.
Why?
I told you she was ratty. Why does she think we can only afford a third-class ticket? She's a spoiled brat. My life is depressing.
Finally, question number 6, which was, how did you make it off the boat?
Well, me. I'm sorry. Me and my daughter Helen, we got on lifeboat number 6. I'm sorry. I really don't like my daughter. Alright, so we got on lifeboat number 6 next to the quartermasters of the Titanic after I threatened to throw him off board.
Of the lifeboat?
Yeah.
That's it for Honor News. Be back next time.
Alright, this is the news. Today our guest is Ruth Becker. Come on out, Ruth Becker. Okay, we have some questions rolling in from Pinterest. What was your age when you were on the boat and what class were you in?
Oh, me? Oh, so I was 12 and, second class. Yeah, we didn't have that much money, but, it was worth it.
Okay. Another question. Why were you on the boat and...
Oh, because, see, I have a little brother, and he was sick. He was sick, really, and I don't want to talk about it, but he was sick, and we had to go get him a cure.
Well, what disease did your brother get?
Well, we had no idea. He just became ill, and we tried to protect him, but he was like, "Oh, Mom, I'm sick," and we had to bring him. We got on the boat. We started boarding, and it was like all the way home.
All right. What lifeboat number did you and your family get on?
Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, 13. And see, I was on 13 because no room on 11. And my mom was like, "I hope you're okay." And I'm like, "I love you, Mama." And she's like, "I love you too." And we got some.
Okay. Next question. Did your boat make it out okay?
Oh, see, that is an easy question. See, we almost got crushed by 15 when it was over and like, and it almost hit us like in the middle. Pretend almost boat and the boat was like that, and we almost got crushed. You know, what? It didn't happen. We made it out safe. So yes.
Okay. What were you served for food on the ship?
Some beef nuggets, corn and cob, some peas and potatoes. Basically what third class had, except they put salt and pepper on ours. It was really good too, except it made you have juice, you know. But it was
Too
good.
much beans, huh?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It was beef though.
Beef, not food.
Okay, next question.
What's the worst thing you remember about the ship sinking?
The tragedy and bone-chilling experience was how we like the water was in the face and stuff, and there were screams of terror, and it was like, oh my God, it's taken. And I was afraid that I was gonna die, but I lived. And so did my family, and thank God, my brother didn't die too, and we found a cure. So thank you for that.
Well, maybe we should have been on the miracle show.
True. So where's the mic?
The mic?
Yes.
I have no idea. The mic man is supposed to be holding it right there.
Okay. Next question.
There is no more questions.
Oh.
So
Well, we're done.
that's the end of the segment. So back over to
Okay,
Jim.
I'm Ruth Becker.
Excuse me, sir. My name is Jimmy, and I work for the New York Times. May I please ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, could you please tell me your name and how you came to be sailing on the Titanic?
My name is Charles Javin, and I was sailing on Titanic for a party.
What class ticket did you purchase?
First class, and I was hanging out with the chef and drinking the most expensive beer.
Why were you there?
I was there to have a good time and party.
What did you do during the sinking?
I started grabbing food and supplies to put on a lifeboat.
How old are you now, and where do you live?
I'm in my 70s, and I live in Patterson, New Jersey.
How did you survive in the cold Atlantic water for 3 hours?
From the alcohol in my blood.
Why did you throw chairs and other objects into the water?
For people in the water have something to hold on to.
Thanks, Charles. Have a good time.
Action.
Why did you go on the Titanic?
Well, my brother was very ill. We had to reach the Britain Harbor, Michigan to help my brother to get medical treatment. We had to leave father back in India to rejoin him later.
How did your mom feel about being separated from the lifeboats when the lifeboat sank?
We were both worried about never seeing each other again. My mother was sobbing from our separation. My mother was on the lifeboat number 11. I was on lifeboat number 13. My boat was almost crushed by lifeboat number 15 for being lowered too quickly. And I saw the Polish woman crying for being separated of lifeboats with her baby.
What was your experience on the lifeboat when the Titanic was sinking?
I was very terrified. All those people screaming for help was echoing in my head. I'm still picturing the face of the horrific disaster in my mind.
How did you feel about being rescued by the Carpathia?
I was overjoyed to see my mother and my siblings alive and well. I was also happy to discover that the Polish woman from the lifeboat reunited with her baby.
After the incident, have you talked about it? Have you talked more or less about the disaster?
First, I refused to talk about it for many years, but later I was starting to talk about it.
What did you do after the traumatic disaster?
I actually went on a trip to Mexico on a cruise ship. It was actually the very first time after the Titanic sank. I was a little afraid that the ship was going to sink.